As we begin lining up our 17 and older for Sheep Showman, we would like to introduce a few special guests we have with us today. We are very excited to have with us in the support of Dr. Kim Williams. Dr. Williams is our Associate Director of 4-H Youth Development and Civic Engagement Specialist. Let's give Dr. Williams a round. Also with us today, we have Mr. Al Ogeron. Mr. Ogeron is our Director of the Southeast Region. Thank you both for being here and supporting our youth. Now entering the ring is our 17 and up A group. 17 and up A group. As this group is making their way in, we would like to introduce our judge today. Our judge is Mr. Mike Harbor. He's been an accomplished show lamb and show goat producer for over 30 years. He grew up in southern New Mexico. Mr. Mike moved to Texas following his high school graduation to pursue a college degree in animal science and compete on the collegiate livestock judging team. Following completion of his master's degree, he spent 7.5 years with the Texas Ag Extension Service as a county extension agent. While there, his primary educational responsibilities included production agriculture and junior livestock projects. Mr. Mike has been a full-time lamb and goat producer for the past 22 years. He lives in Central Texas near the town of Gatesville with his wife Connie and son Trey. Let's give Mr. Mike a warm Louisiana welcome. This is yours to keep.
Mine to keep. All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It feels great to be here in Louisiana and get to evaluate your livestock show. It's definitely an honor, and when I got called to do this, I was like, heck yeah! I've been asked for a few times to come to LSU and judge over the years, and that always falls during our San Antonio livestock show. And now that the boys are done showing, I was ready to come evaluate some livestock here in Louisiana. Good showmanship class start the show off with. I think these older exhibitors, we get to this stage, and of course, showmanship is very, very, very subjective, and it's just my opinion today. But we showed sheep for many years. My boys showed for 20 years, and we went to Louisville and all over the country, the national shows, our state shows. Showmanship was a big deal at our house, because if you don't get one showed, you don't win. I mean, that's just what it boils down to. Intensity, leg placement, being able to handle these sheep, everything, I think, boils down to being a really, really good showman. And this young man, I think it kind of came down to two for me in this class. They're very, very sound in their fundamentals. You study the way they bring these sheep out in the ring, and they're super smooth. The young man that wins the class today, yeah, I get it that he's having to set them legs a little bit more. To me, showmanship is about the exhibitor and not the animal, okay? I raised two boys. We never had the push-button sheep, the one that just stood there and never moved, and we got beat by the girl that never moved, and that went a bunch of times, and when I evaluate showmanship, I study the exhibitor, their intensity, just how well their fundamentals are, and just how well they can show one. And, I always tell people, well, what makes the best showman? Well, it'd probably be the one that if we had two in a class and I had to go find somebody to show that second one, that's the one I'm going to choose to win showmanship. I think this young man right here, he struggles a little bit, or his lamb, he's wanting to dance around the tick today and move some feet. But once he gets him parked, when he's on the move, I really like the way he presents his sheep. Very intense. I think just does a phenomenal job. You touch him, he's firm to the touch. And when we get squared up and everything, I really like the way them legs are setting. We don't get them too overstretched. We got his legs right, and just does a phenomenal job. I think it's super close with her right here. Here's the young lady that has the push-button sheep that doesn't move. Ideally, there was a time or two the legs were just a notch off. She was getting them a little bit overstretched, and I mean just a little bit, not a ton. But there was times that I just like to maybe strike her up just a notch as far as intensity and just have that look and that fire in her eye. But I think she is very smooth, very fluid, and just does a phenomenal job. We get down here in second and third, and you study these two right here. Just a little bit off in terms of maybe just overall experience and ring time and intensity and getting them presented. But to me, they didn't really catch my eye quite as well as the two ahead of them. But a super good class. Again, it's subjective. It's just my opinion today. But really good class of senior showmen. Let's give them a nice round of applause for all their efforts out here.
Placings in Class 17A, 13th place, Colton Webb, St. Tammany. 12th place, Rayleigh Hawkins, St. Tammany. 11th place, Grace Addison, St. Tammany. 10th place, Bryn Bordelon, St. Tammany. 9th place, Katie Savoy Allen. 8th place, Emma DeBusk Grant. 7th place, Raleigh Uncal, St. Tammany. 6th place, Blair Landry Ascension. 5th place, Isabel Carballon, Jeff Davis. 4th place, Ashlyn Hayes, Natchitoches. 3rd place, Addison Zonebreaker, Acadia. 2nd place, Holly Metz, Iberia. First place, Blake Winslet Grant. Now entering the ring, 17 and over B group.
Well, another super competitive class. You get these top two up here. They caught my eye when we first started. The young man right here, he's presenting this sheep. If you don't get that, you don't understand showmanship. And that's something that we work on at home. Something I haven't seen in the last two classes. And we, nowadays in the sheep ring, you know, this part from here up is just important as this part from here back. Okay? And so we teach our showmen, those sheep got to run uphill. They've got to be elevated. I want to see that neck. We call it little hands. I want to have little hands. And this young man right here does a phenomenal job at presenting this sheep up through that front end. Now, I'm a muscle guy. You'll see that tomorrow on the market lambs. I love muscle, and I'm all about muscle, but you got to be complete, and you've got to have a good one, okay? Today in the sheep ring, it is so competitive. It doesn't matter where you go, a little county show or you go to a national show. It is super stout and super competitive. And we got to present these sheep. We can't leave nothing to chance. This young man gets his sheep showed from his nose to his toes, we can say. We look at his front end, and you step back, and you can see this whole sheep. I love the front end in this sheep, how long-necked he is, level-headed. He's got that head presented. He's running uphill. All that is because of the way he's presenting this guy and the way he's standing, the way he's on the front end of this sheep. And it's really cool. There's a time or two where he gets a little out there, you know, and it's kind of like, dude, if that sheep jumps, he's gone, you know, but we can see the whole face inside of that sheep and everything from his toes all the way up to his nose. I can visualize that sheep, how shallow and how cool fronted he is. And he backs it up with a big old booty as well. Really, really good sheep, really good showman right there. I think it's tight. And where we get beat is right here in presenting that front end. This guy right here gets him stuck as good as anybody. Feet and legs, his presentation is very good. Just the little things and some stuff that, you know, I'm kind of partial to when we're coaching kids at home and teaching them how to show. He kind of covers the front end of that sheep up, and so that sheep gets shorter. He gets shorter neck, shorter fronted. He's not down fronted, but we can make him look better if we got a little smaller on that front end, slid that leg around, presented the cheek inside of that face of that sheep, and just got him a notch more elevated. But I really appreciate the way he sets these feet and legs. Very quick, very smooth. When we stop and park, legs are where they need to be, and we ain't touching them all. Okay, I didn't talk about that in the last class because I didn't want to give too much away, but I can't stand for an exhibitor to touch 2, 3, 4 legs. I mean, that does not need to happen. You park them, you drive them, you bounce them, boom, we're stuck. And we're good to go right there. Two extremely good, phenomenally good showmen right here. She follows in third, I think, very easily. Super smooth. Kind of gets that head rocked back a little bit on this sheep, drives into him, and maybe gets that sheep just leaning back a notch more than I'd like to see. Get him out in front. Very flawless on her technique and style. Young man right here, we've got a sheep. Sometimes he kind of overdrives him just a little bit, makes him hunch up in his loin just a notch, kind of wads that sheep up there in the middle of his body. We like to level him out, relax that lamb, make him drive down low, keep that front end up like he's doing, but does a great job. Good class. Let's give him a nice round of applause for an excellent set of seniors.
Placings in 17B. 14th place, Addison Duplantis, Lafayette. 13th place, Annalise Harris, Lafayette. 12th place, Sheila Guidry, Lafayette. 11th place, Anna Cole, Ascension, Santa Maria FFA. 10th place, Emma Lachele, Iberia. 9th place, Juliana Esquivel, St. James. 8th place, Madison Whetstone, Tangipahoa. 7th place, Aiden Richardson, Rapides. 6th place, Sophie K, Vernon. 5th place, Remy Neal, Union. 4th place, Ramsey Brookhouse, Jeff Davis. 3rd place, Brooklyn LeBlanc, Ascension. 2nd place, Jacob Lear, St. James. 1st place, Everett Hewlin, Vermilion. Now entering the ring, 16-year-old showman.
All right, in this group, there's a lot of closeness in these top four. I think we didn't really have a runaway showman in this class. I think we got to work our way up here, and I think these two that sort their way to the top, they made some mistakes and they paused and they took a little time here and there, but I think they surfaced just in terms of just being quality showmen. To move up towards the top, and you study them. I think the young man, the longer we went on, the better he got, and just right there at the end started presenting his sheep and really getting him out there. I wish you wouldn't spend as much time setting legs. That's kind of one of my pet peeves is man, when we stop, get these things stuck and present them, because especially if you go on to a national level or something, you've got a matter of seconds to impress that judge. If not, he'll move on and find somebody else he likes. And so we stop. One thing I really like a showman to do is give that sheep a chance to do some work for you. When you stop, get into him, drive him a tick, get him to step back, bam, bam, set them 2 back feet for you. If he does that and you bounce him, we don't have to touch a leg one, and you really train these sheep to do that for you. And man, it takes a lot of the work out of it, and we aren't stopping and bending over and just doing a lot of excessive leg touching, and things will go a lot faster, a lot smoother, and just get these things presented a little bit quicker. Young lady, I think at first I was like, man, she's smooth and she's pretty flawless, but kind of the longer we went along, the more she got a little leg happy and touch happy and slap happy, and we just kept moving around, and the sheep kind of, like right there, he's just kind of standing. He's not really presenting himself, and we got to be on point all the time in a class, and so there's, the longer we went, the less flawless we got in terms of just our showmanship technique and the way we present. I think the young man here in third, you study him, he's got a lot of the good things we like, and then there's room for improvement of just getting this sheep just to be a little more athletic and just present herself just a notch better. She wants to be a little lazy, and sometimes she wants to set back on him and doesn't drive and present herself, and then we're stepping over him and looking at legs and just kind of moving around just a notch more. Same with the young lady in fourth. There's times I had her up and then down, and we just get a little plain in our overall presentation. Just kind of spice that up, notch that up just a little bit. But a good class. Give them a nice round of applause for all their efforts out here and their combativeness that they shared with us.
Placings in our 16-year-olds. 16th place, Drake Hawkins, St. Tammany. 15th, Kale Guidry, Lafourche. 14th, Reese Bourne, Lafourche. 13th place, Caitlin Albright, Red River. 12th place, Taylor Babin, St. James. 11th place, Luke Paget, Claiborne. 10th place, Braxton Mesh, Acadia. 9th place, William Carballon, Jeff Davis. 8th place, Maddox Zonebreaker, Acadia. 7th place, Lily Saunier, Acadia. 6th place, Bella Fugile, Calcasieu. 5th place, Ellie Hebert, Evangeline. 4th place, Presley Corvell, St. Landry. 3rd place, Landon Cubley, DeSoto. 2nd place, Emily Vidalia, Vermilion. 1st place, Hayden Hardy, DeSoto.
You had 217 in A B.
Now entering the ring, our 15-year-old sheep showman. At the conclusion of our 15-year-olds, we will have our senior drive.
way her legs, her body's tied into that sheep. How she's bending that front end, I like extremely well. We get a little heavy, shoulder forward heavy on this one. Sometimes, you really think you're driving, and all you're doing is leaning your body over that sheep, getting him, getting yourself back up over him. I'd like for you to throw your shoulders back, use the lower third of your body, and really drive into that sheep and get those shoulders back. But a really good class. Let's give them a nice round of applause for all their efforts out here.
Placings in our 15-year-olds, 19th place, Cortez Tino, West St. Mary FFA. 18th place, Madison Sistrom, West Carroll. 17th place, Bailey Hannon, St. Tammany. 16th place, Ava Weems, St. Tammany. 15th place, Kipton St. Germain's, West St. Mary FFA. 14th, Jakari Diaz, West St. Mary FFA. 13th place, Rylan Guidry Lafouche. 12th place, Addison So, Vermilion. 11th place, Anna Dupuy, Acadia. 10th place, Raleigh Hebert, Lafayette. 9th place, Surreal Connor, West St. Mary FFA. 8th place, Elliot Norman, Acadia. 7th place, Violet Fontenot, Morehouse. 6th place, Tyler LaFosse, Jeff Davis. 5th place, Gracie Bourgeois, Jackson. 4th place, Taylor Rayner, Red River. 3rd place, Jack Reed, Acadia. 2nd place, Austin Ligon, Union. 1st place, Ashen Navarre, Beauregard. We're now ready for our senior drive. From 17A, Blake Winslet, Grant. 17B, Everett Hewlin, Vermilion. 16-year-olds, Hayden Hardy, DeSoto. And our 15-year-olds, Ashlyn Navarre, Beauregard. The Senior Showmanship Buckle is sponsored in memory of Mr. L.F. Teeny Swoop. Mr. Swoop served as a county agent for the Cooperative Extension Service for 32 years. He served on local, district, and state livestock boards, all while serving the youth within our 4-H and FFA programs. Mr. Teeny had a keen eye for evaluating livestock with a passion in animal husbandry. Most importantly, he recognized potential in families where endless friendships were made. The Grand Champion Senior Showmanship Buckle is being sponsored by a lifelong family friend of Mr. Teeny. The Shelton Pousson family is honored to award our senior showman in memory of Mr. Swoop for the difference he made in their lives, but also the many lives he has impacted within the livestock industry. Help us in thanking, join them for honoring Mr. Swoop.
Well, it's been an honor to judge the senior showmanship contest we've had this evening. Just some super good contestants. I'm glad some of these got broke up into different classes. That way we can present them out here, in our champion drive, and just you really study all these. I think they're very similar in their style and the way they present a sheep, but you really dive into it and pick them apart and how they're presenting. I mean, from back legs all the way up to the nose of that thing. And to me, it's like I've said several times in my reasons, it's all about getting one presented and not showing flaws, trying to make that sheep look better than he is. And that's what a true showman is somebody that's going to get everything you can out of a show sheep. Get him out here presented. I think there's three that we could sort around, and there's one to me that's I think pretty good choice on our champion. Just like I said earlier, I kind of go for that one that I'd stick one of our sheep on and say go out there and win that class. And I think we got some out here that we'd definitely like for them to show sheep of ours. But we'll go name our champion. Give them a nice round of applause for a super set of senior showmen.
Our champion senior goes to Everett Hewlin Vermillion. We're now picking our reserve champion.
I think for my reserve, it kind of boils down to these two young men right here with the blue sheep out here. And you study them. I really like the boy in the pink. I like the way he presents his sheep. He kind of lets that sheep at times get a little more, I wouldn't say down fronted, but everything kind of runs forward, But I like the way he presents that front end. He's got his neck up, his head up. He's got little hands. He's showing me that whole sheep, yet he's still... that sheep's getting a little maturity about him, and you can see that brisket out there, and he's still covering that up some, but you can see right there, he's presenting that sheep. This young man in the blue shirt right here, he's got that sheep looking super athletic. I mean, that ewe lamb looks good. She's spot on. She's hard to the touch every time you handle him. I wish we would let that front end go forward. There's times you just right there, you've got that head shoved back, neck down in that sheep, and I wish we could get her, there we go, to get small hands, get the front end, and that just changed the whole look of that sheep right there. She just got longer fronted, she got shallower chested, and just really cool fronted in that front third. And that's today, you know, you got to have that combination sheep, and it comes with a good front. And if we got a good front and we're covering it up or we're jamming that neck down in its body, it's not doing us any good out there in the ring. Two phenomenal sheep. We'll go name our reserve champion. Excellent set of senior showmen.
Our reserve champion goes to Blake Winslet Grant. Now entering the ring, our 14-year-old sheep showmen.
All right, a good intermediate class. I thought the young lady in yellow just kind of ran off with this one. She is very smooth, really flawless. She stops, doesn't mess around, gets that lamb squared up, gets him stuck. That lamb's presented extremely well. I thought she kind of ran off with this one. Young man with the one arm, he did a good job. Everything here, y'all just wait till we get done. I'll shake everybody's hand when we get done here in a second. I thought he did a great job considering he's a tick handicap there with that arm. But same thing, you get him stopped. You want to let this sheep get a little soft topped. You know, he kind of does this. And so getting under him and driving, more leg, more pressure with your feet. Remember, we show sheep from the waist down. We present them from the waist up. And so get that lamb to drive just a tick more. Get that top up, make him level out and square out. Right here, I thought we did a good job till we started fiddling just maybe a little bit too much. You know, we got to get them stuck, we got to get them presented, and we got to get still, okay? And there's times that we just kept going back, touching a leg, and then a lot of times it's just because we do that and we don't need to. And so if we're going to move a leg, let's make sure we need to move a leg. Young lady right here, watch her. She'll move them front legs, then she'll bounce this sheep. So touching that front leg did you no good, but take up time, okay? Get into that lamb, make him set his back to, and then bounce him. Don't just go down there and touch a front leg just because we're going to touch them, okay? That takes away from your presentation of that sheep and your presentation of you being a good showman, all right? So if we're going to bounce them, there's no sense in touching them. Got it? All right. Good class. Let's give them a nice round of applause for an excellent set of intermediate showmen.
Placings in our 14-year-olds. 13th place, Lexi Lalonde, St. Tammany. 12th place, Zoe Zinsky, St. Tammany. 11th place, Savannah Anthony. 11th place, Savannah Anthony, St. Tammany. 10th place, Cheyenne Dwara Lafouche. 9th place, Brooklyn Wilson, West St. Mary FFA. 8th place, Chancey Trahan, Calcasieu. 7th place, Thomas Clay Ussery, DeSoto. 6th place, Brindley Vincent, Beauregard. 5th place, Thomas Wade Peary, Livingston. 4th place, Anna Thomas Evangeline. 3rd place, Hallie Chasson, Beauregard. 2nd place, AJ Wright, Calcasieu. 1st place, Emma Bourgeois, Calcasieu. Now entering the ring, 13-year-old.
All right, a good set of juniors right here. I think the young lady that wins the class, she caught my eye when she was down there and did so pretty quickly. Here at the end, she kind of got a little slow. I mean, we're touching these front legs instead of getting into one, maybe bouncing it and making that sheep work for us and do a little bit of the work. But she gets one stuck. She presents it very smooth. I love her on the move. Like she can make that sheep move out. Everything's going, everything's running uphill. She does a really, really good job, and I think she's just super smooth. Right here in two, the young lady, she's a little stouter, does a little better job of handling this sheep on driving and kind of getting that front end up and just popping. Not quite as smooth, and there was a time or two that we didn't have legs just 100% right, but I think that's a good pair that just winds up towards the top. Here's a young man that he's fired up right here in three. Got that sheep. That sheep's fired up too. He's raw. He's hard muscled. He's just getting everything done. You won't want somebody to drive one. This young man can get that done. He can fire that sheep up. Look right there. We just got to smooth up in showmanship just a tick. I mean, I raised two boys just like you, and there's times we just got to slow down a bit and just act a little smoother and show like a girl a little bit, okay? You do that, you're going to win some showmanships, all right? That's it, because you got the fire, and he's doing what I've been coaching all evening about getting into one, driving him, make that sheep set his legs for you. Right there, that sheep's dancing because he's making him dance. If he'd just get into him, drive him, bounce him, boom, that sheep shows plenty good. He drives plenty good. And so let that sheep help you out and set those legs. And we got to do some of that coaching, moms and dads at home. And right there, that sheep's out on his corners. He looks phenomenal from three-quarter view right there. Just slow down, stop moving. There you go. Take a breath, show like a girl a little bit, and you'll be good. Young man right here, we get a little lazy, and it's all in your body position, okay? You don't have the experience, I don't think, maybe it's quite as few ring time that the ones ahead of you do. And if you look at your body position, you're sliding around that shoulder just a little too much. You're kind of catching about a third of your body. We need to get your hips around and drive into that sheep and make him work for you, because he's just standing there. That dude's just standing there, and he's maybe pushing off his front end a little. You get your hips around, you really drive into that sheep and get that head up and make him work and make that rear end explode. You'd be doing a lot better. But a good class. Give him a nice round of applause for a lot of effort out here.
Placings in our 13-year-olds. 14th place, Brooklyn Whetstone, Tangipahoa. 13th, Jackson Arnold, Lafourche. 12th place, Presley Graham, Livingston. 11th place, Brindley Saltzman, Vermilion. 10th place, Greta Zonebreaker, Acadia. 9th place, Collins Osmond, Lafourche. 8th place, Brielle LeBlanc, Ascension. 7th place, Cadence Miller, Calcasieu. 6th place, Garrett Gutierrez, Vermilion. 5th place, Eli Vincent, Beauregard. 4th place, Colton Zonebreaker, Acadia. 3rd place, Tucker Patton, Calcasieu. 2nd place, Jenna Bamberg, DeSoto. 1st place, Adeline Navarre, Beauregard. Now coming into the ring are our 12-year-old showmen. At the conclusion of 12-year-old, we will have our intermediate drive.
All right. You're going to be in first place, and I want you to walk around and set your sheep back up right over here. And y'all watch this young man. I've been preaching something all evening, and he did it. And when I saw that, I'm like, he's got to win the class, you know. Oh, it may be a little hard to do right here, but go ahead. Get your leg, get into him, drive him, bounce him, just like you did. Well, we didn't do it. There we go. He didn't touch no front legs. That kid right there, I saw him bring that lamb in. He stopped, he drove him, and he bounced that front end, never touched the leg, and he was spot on. And I was like, that's exactly what I've been preaching these senior kids to do, everybody to do the whole time we've been doing this, and he did it. And that lamb, a lot of that is having that sheep that will do it, you know, and practicing at home. Shows are won at home, y'all. Takes lots of hours, lots of time. We all know that if we're going to be competitive and show sheep like that, it takes a lot of time and effort in the exercise pen, in the feeding pen. We're feeding 2-3 times a day. Birthdays, Christmas, whatever, it doesn't matter. Show sheep take time, and if you want to win, you've got to get them showed and get them presented like you're a winner, and this young man did a phenomenal job with this one right here. I think, you know, it was cool to see him do that, and I wish I could rewind it and show you guys what he did for me. But I think you kind of get the gist of that. Young lady just kind of is hung in here in second, like kind of flawless, but doesn't really wow me. But, you know, there's times right there where everything kind of just fell apart. But we get into them. We don't ever really let a sheep do that for us, okay? We got to stay on top of it, stay into them. That's why we talk about pressure. It really should be called resisting and not pushing or bracing, because all they're doing is they're reacting to what we do as far as applying pressure through that center part of the body. And if we get too high with that pressure, sheep suck down. Or if we get off to the side, they get weak topped and bow their body a little bit. And so we got to stay square with our hips in front of them. Drive this sheep. There you go. Get into him and get everything running uphill. She fixed his top line. That was really good. That's a good key right there. At home, we practice a lot in front of a mirror. Went through for 20 years. We went through, I don't know how many big old mirrors. You know, when you buy a mirror at a farm sale, all them farmers kind of look at you funny. But we'd get them big old mirrors, put them up in the barn, and we'd practice in front of them, and that's how we'd get better. A lot fewer fights with the family, you know, a lot fewer arguments with the showman, and just get in front of those mirrors and really study them. Right here, here's a project in the making right here, young man in 3. I think he's got some things. He kind of doesn't really do anything wrong, but doesn't do anything spectacular. We're a little too spread out. Get our body back up under us, get a little coaching, little details right here, and fine-tune his technique just a tick. You can see his hips are around on the side of the sheep, not in front of them. We get that fixed up, and I think we become better. Right here, young lady, I love her body language, the way she presents that sheep, the way she's in front of him, but we forget about how we want that sheep to look, okay? We let him have legs too narrow. We let him have things out of whack, and that sheep's not really resisting our pressure and not driving and not looking athletic, okay? So we can look good, but we got to make sure our sheep looks good at the same time. Good class of juniors. Give them a nice round of applause for all their efforts out here.
Placings in our 12-year-olds. 11th place, Cooper Penton, Washington. 10th place, Tucker Thibodeau, St. Martin. 9th place, Max Marcantel, Evangeline. 8th place, Kale Dubrock, Evangeline. 7th place, James Anderson, Calcasieu. 6th place, Amelie Zonebreaker, Acadia. 5th place, Hadley Joe Hall, Union. 4th place, Izzy Marcantel, Evangeline. 3rd place, Brantley Olmstead, Calcasieu. 2nd place, McKenna Henry, Calcasieu. 1st place, Grayson Broussard, Iberia. We're now ready to have our intermediate drive. 14-year-olds, Emma Bourgeois, Calcasieu. 13-year-olds, Adeline Navarre, Beauregard. And 12-year-olds, Grayson Broussard, Iberia. The Intermediate Showmanship Buckle is sponsored in memory of Mr. Harry Vialon. Mr. Harry was a longtime supporter of the 4-H and FFA livestock programs in Louisiana. He, along with his family, raised club lambs for over 40 years. His family has continued to pursue his passion for raising market lambs. He was an important figure in the Louisiana Sheep Producers Association, as well as many other programs in Calcasieu Parish and throughout the state. In the ring to present the Intermediate Showmanship Buckle are members of his family: his wife, Ms. Dot Vialon, his granddaughter, Cassidy Potts Goodo, and her husband, Cameron. Join us in thanking them for honoring Mr. Harry.
Well, really good set of intermediates here. I really like the way they're showing. You study these exhibitors that made their way to our champion drive. Very fundamentally sound. You look at their body positions, their hip positions, just kind of the way they're driving, the way they're holding these sheep. I think they're very, very similar. You study them. We got a little more ring experience up here on the front of the class, and sometimes that separates it. Just a little more flawless. She works phenomenally good for her, and just does a great job. So I think she's one of those that doesn't really make a mistake unless we get nervous and start moving a little more than we need to sometimes. But she does a super job. A young lady that won the second class, like we talked about her, I love her body position, her intensity, and just, there's times that the smaller we get, the more we got to work on really applying a little more pressure to where those sheep present themselves just a notch better, look a little more athletic. It's kind of one of them things where, I tell my young people, I'm like, don't be good from afar, but far from good when that judge comes and handles him. And you get some of these sheep learn to drive off their front end, and so those kids think they're bracing, and that judge touches them, and they're soft as can be. So we just got to watch that in these young people. This man right here does a phenomenal job. I see a bright future in him, in the ring, as well as showing his sheep, as well as showmanship. But we got to give it to the young lady in yellow. I think she just kind of dominated this division right there.
Our champion goes to Emma Bourgeois, Calcasieu.
For reserve, we're going to go with the young lady right here in the middle of the show.
Our reserve champion goes to Adeline Navarre, Beauregard. Now coming into the ring, our 11-year-old sheep showman. The Louisiana Sheep Producers Association will once again sponsor the LSPA lottery on June 6th. Information and entry forms are available on the tables outside the ring. In August of last year, the LSPA lottery show was part of the annual LSPA annual fortuity. Tonight, we would like to honor the champion and reserve champion exhibitors. Joining us in the ring to present the champion banners is Mr. Ben Marcantel. Marcantel Club Lambs was the breeder of both lambs. The champion lottery lamb was Jevin Savoy. Our reserve champion lamb was Archie Wright. Congratulations to both winners for their success.
Good junior class here. This individual just does a phenomenal job. You really start studying the way we're getting this sheep presented, and like right there, man, that sheep looks like $1,000,000, and it's all about getting in front, leg position, hip position. Um, there were some times early on in the class, like stop them, brace them, bounce them, boom, we're right there. Not much leg touching. And then as we got progressed on, we got a little nervous. We started touching legs and stuff, and I'm like, don't blow it now. But you get back off, and I think he just does a better job, especially from the three-quarter view. Beautiful ewe lamb, and that doesn't hurt. Showmanship sheep, you kind of got those kind that at the house that we always grab when it's showmanship time, and having a good one in showmanship, that helps. I mean, it takes it all. We got to have a good sheep. She looks phenomenal. He gets it stuck, presented. Beautiful job. Excellent job out here. I think it's super tight between these two. I had give and take and back and forth. Very fundamentally sound. Here at the end, they got nervous, and neither one of them got legs right, and I think legs a little closer together kind of trumped legs all out of whack over here, and that's how we sorted them. I could swap them either way. I'm not going to argue with you if you think three should have been two and two should have been three, but I think one needs to be one. A good class of juniors, really good solid ones on down through. Let's give them a nice round of applause for an excellent set out here.
Placings in our 11-year-olds: 12th place, William Chatinier, Terrebonne; 11th place, Ian Geraci, St. Landry; 10th place, Emma Mercantile, Evangeline; 9th place, Kip Hebert, Acadia; 8th place, Ellie Lyons, St. Landry; 7th place, Kinsley Olmstead, Calcasieu; 6th place, John Chatinier, Terrebonne; 5th place, Sawyer Patton, Calcasieu; 4th place, Cash Chasson, Beauregard; 3rd place, Blake Trahan, Jeff Davis; 2nd place, Beckham Corville, St. Landry; 1st place, Seb Thomas, Evangeline. Now entering the ring, our 10-year-old sheep showman.
Well, I tell you, I really enjoyed judging livestock shows and showmanship. You know, like I told you earlier, at our house was a big deal, and I think this is what it's all about: teaching these kids how to be better showmen. Just a few little tricks and tips and things. And I know not all the time mom and dad's right, you know, and so it's always good to hear something from somebody else at times. But you know, it's a passion of mine to get it right. Don't know a soul in this state. First time I've ever judged in Louisiana, so you're getting my true opinion. I have no game or no dog in the fight, definitely in Louisiana. But we're going to get this right, and I think we study these 5 right here, and we can definitely mix them around. But I think the young lady that wins the class has to, like, she's spot on the intensity. Like, that's been unmatched all day long as far as her intensity, but she's not forgetting about the sheep either. You know, you see some kids that are so intense, they forget about feet and legs, and they forget about the sheep. And shoot, it wasn't almost every time I looked at her, she had them feet and legs right. She's getting a little nervous right now. We're talking about her, so we're getting things mixed up, but just does a phenomenal job. The basics are right, very sound. I think, you know, people say, well, what do you like in a showman? I like a kid that can get one stuck quick, that's flawless in their presentation, that presents that sheep to his highest ability, and you know, and looks good and has that it factor. And there's a lot of those things you can't really teach, you know, on those super good showmen. They just got it, and she's got it. I think she's done a phenomenal job. I think in the next 4 we can mix and match. The young lady that winds up in second, I think, did so because she had those legs probably the squarest most of the time. I'm not saying it was perfect. Like right now, they're a little closer together than I'd like to have them. I'd like to have those front legs out just a little bit, that head up just a notch more, and with a little more pressure on that front end. But we kind of have problems all down through the line, you know, but I think she just fell kind of right in here. This one right here in 3, I thought should have been 2 several times, and then we get legs all out of whack and we don't look at them, you know. And so when we got them back legs doing this, and we're just holding that sheep and smiling, like, we got to make sure them legs are square. It doesn't take much to do this. Look back and forth, make sure we got them just like you got them right now. If you'd have done that through the whole deal, we'd have moved you up ahead. I don't know if we get around her, but we definitely would have been in the 2 slot, okay? Phenomenal job right here. This one's super sound. Like, you do a lot of good things right, okay? Sometimes in showmanship, we're talking about, you know, bringing a good sheep out here and having the sheep match the kid, okay? I'm not knocking anybody, okay? I'm not trying to be mean or hateful by any means, but her sheep really didn't match her. You know, that sheep's big. It'd be good with the senior kid. You know, there was room and that may be the only sheep we got, and I understand that, and that's not to her fault. But when we're sorting them and we got to place them, if we study her, that sheep's a little big, so he's harder to drive, and he doesn't really match her. And so it just kind of makes everything look off just a notch. But I think she is very fundamentally sound. She's a good showman, does a great job. Young lady here in 5. There's times I had her up in the top 2. The longer we went around, the more you got kind of nervous, and we got things a little more out of whack. But we study her. That sheep matches her. You know, that sheep's a little tight wound and gets a little cantankerous at times. But that sheep matches her, drives really well, does a super job. But a really sound class top to bottom. Let's give them a nice round of applause for all their efforts out here.
Placings in our 10-year-olds. 12th place, Ryan Anderson, Calcasieu. 11th place, Xander Nakan, Lafouche. 10th place, Kason Sistrunk, West Carroll. 9th place, Willow Wright, Calcasieu. 8th place, Berkeley Lee, St. Tammany. 7th place, Drew Arnold, Lafouche. Sixth place, Alyssa Thibodeau, St. Martin. Fifth place, Fallon Rougeau, Evangeline. Fourth place, Lana Fornot, Evangeline. Third place, Deanna Zonebreaker, Acadia. Second place, Finley Vincent Beauregard. First place, Maeve Miller Cameron. Now entering the ring, 9-year-old sheep showman. At the conclusion of the 9-year-olds, we will have our junior drive. Attention in the barn, we will not be taking a break between showmanship and the breeding show.
Probably my toughest decision of the day right here. These two are really good. The young lady that wins it does so because her dance partner's just doing a little better job for her. She gets that sheep squared up. He looks good. She presents him. There's not much wrong with her presentation at all. Maybe at times she kind of hunches over just a little, and I'd like to for her to, there you go, kind of straighten up, get everything up and down and going sideways, and she gets that lamb looking really good. This young lady in the red, like she has, I was talking earlier about that stuff you really can't teach. I see a lot of showmanship buckles in your future. Like you have the style and the technique and the posture and so many things going for you. Like you've got a bright future in showmanship, and I'd be willing to put a lot of money on that one. You know what you're doing. Do you have older brothers and sisters that show? Yeah, that was like my youngest. He turned out to be the better showman because he was always in the pen. We have pictures of him in diapers showing baby lambs and driving them. And I can kind of spot those kids that kind of grow up grabbing sheep and holding them. I think she does a phenomenal job right there. Just the way she touches that sheep and the way she knows how to position her body, and she knows where she's got to be, and her hips got to be right, and she's making that sheep do the things he needs to be doing. He didn't quite help her out as much today as and I know I said earlier that it doesn't matter about your the sheep, but this pair was so tight that I had to kind of sort it somehow. But I see a bright future ahead of you, and just your style and technique, and whoever's coaching you, they're doing a good job. I just hope they keep you on the right track, because I think you're going to be a heck of a showman down the road. Got some phenomenal showmen down through this junior class. Just a really good set. A lot of good basics, more ring time, more practice. Watching these older kids show helps. There's tons of stuff on YouTube and videos and everything nowadays that really help our kids. Keep practicing, keep driving. Good set of juniors. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Placings in our 9-year-olds: 6th place, Elijah Butterfield Grant. 5th place, Thomas Tullier, Jeff Davis. 4th, Lillian Carbalon, Jeff Davis. 3rd, Jalen Whetstone, Tangibahoa. 2nd place, Violet Vincent, Beauregard. 1st place, Nadia Thomas, Evangeline. We're now ready for our junior drive. From the 11-year-olds, we have Seb Thomas, Evangeline. 10-year-olds, Maeve Miller, Calcasieu. 9-year-olds, Nadia Thomas, Evangeline.
Well, it's been fun evaluating the showmanship, and we keep going back talking about fundamentals and just having that sheep look good. And that's what boils down to a really good showman in my book. Somebody that can walk one, stop one, drive one, present one, and have him looking good every second they're in the ring. And that's, you get on the big stage and state show, LSU, or you're in Louisville or Kansas City or whatever, you've got a split second to really appease that judge. Judges look for the negative, not the positive. So keep that in mind. You don't want to give them a bad view ever. Young man that's got won the first class of juniors does a phenomenal job. Like, as he comes around and parks that sheep, he could be a little quicker in getting that sheep set up, but he's by far the fastest in this group. Bounces, drive, bounce, get him square, boom. Does a great job. That sheep hardly ever gives us a bad look. And part of that's the sheep. That sheep's put together extremely cool. When he stops, he stays together. His top line's level. He doesn't sprawl out in the front end. He doesn't camp over on all fours. Like, that ewe lamb helps this showman out tremendously, and everything's got to go together. Young lady that won the second class, the intensity, like, her picture's right next to that word. One of the biggest flaws, another thing on showmanship, is know the flaw of your sheep and fix it. Okay, this sheep wants to stop. Like, right now, you study that sheep and her front legs are out in front of her. She's got them sprawled out. She's down in her front and down in her top line. That ewe does that every time she stops. So if we know that, we get under her and we get her front end up and have her top line level and square. Okay? That way you don't give the judge a bad look, because we're on profile, whether we're in a class or in showmanship or showing that sheep. When she's down in her top line and out in her front, she looks what we call out of balance. Okay? That sheep does that. And you need to get a little better. If you're going to show her in showmanship, we got to know that. And let's get her front end under her so it doesn't give me a bad look. I love her intensity, though. And you do so many things right. Okay? Your body position, your hand movements, everything. Like, you do something because of something. You aren't just doing it to do it. Okay? Young lady right here, I think just inexperience. She is very fundamentally sound. I thought that was a super tight pair. I'm a big fan of this little girl in the red right there. But she just had a little more flawlessness to her performance out here in that pair. But there's times those legs ain't square. They aren't set up. Stop, look, get them positioned right. One thing as coaches and parents is kind of try to break the mold of touching all these feet. I mean, in showmanship, all these kids are touching feet. If we got that lamb performing and showing right, a lot of times we don't have to touch a foot. And you can, boom, drive them, bounce them, and we're there. And very little movement, very little action going on. Super set. I'm very confident in my placing. We're going to make this young man right here junior champion. This young lady reserve right here.
Our champion goes to Zeb Thomas of